The box string measure is suitable for measures between 20 centimetres and 3 metres. The longer distances may require assistance from another player or umpire. The umpire must be informed which bowls are to be measured and then secure all bowls leaning on their running surface with chocks or wedges. Measure the flat-lying bowl first. You must place the pointer of the box measure against the jack with the string facing outwards. Hold down the release button and carefully extend the string to gently touching the nearest point of the bowl. Make sure the string is in a straight line. When you are sure the measurement is accurate, release the button and move to the other bowl or bowls. Without touching the release button, the umpire should be able to move the measure so that the point on the jack is now in line with the next bowl to be measured. The umpire should return to the first bowl measured to recheck the measurements. The umpire should then make a decision and indicate it by rolling the shot bowl out and communicating this to the players. In all measures, umpires must be aware of all bowls in the head. Walking through the head can result in embarrassing situations. String measure. As this requires 2 people, it is important to maintain communication with your assistant at all times. Chock any necessary bowls and always measure the bowl lying flat first. Have your assistant place the fixed end of the measure against the jack. Extend the string to the bowl. Check with your assistant that the pointer is just touching the jack and the string is in a straight line from the jack to bowl before you set your measurement. If the measure is to a jack or bowl in the ditch, make sure that the string crosses the ditch in a straight line between the jack and the bowl. Also, make sure that the string does not cut into the green at the point where it crosses the edge of the ditch. Without altering the setting of the measure, check the measure from the jack to the second bowl. The umpire should then make a decision and indicate shot bowl and communicate this to the players. 3-bowl measure. Ask the players to remove all bowls that are not part of the requested measure. To begin the measure by measuring the odd bowl, in this case the red bowl, ensure the measure is in a straight line between the jack and the bowl being measured. Then measure the first blue bowl. Then carefully measure the second blue bowl. Check the measure's original setting by going back to the red bowl. Communicate clearly the decision to all players. In this case, both blue bowls were closer to the jack than either red bowl. 4-bowl measure. Ask the players to remove all bowls not in the requested measure. The umpire must choose which set of bowls to start with, and in this case, it is the blue. The umpire then measures the first blue bowl. And then measures the second blue bowl and, if required, adjusts the length. The umpire must decide which is the nearer of the 2 blue bowls. Then measure the first red bowl. then measure the second red ball. Check the measure's original setting by going back to the closest blue bowl. If one or both of the blue bowls is shot, then the umpire should communicate this to the players. If the nearer blue bowl is shot, then the umpire will need to measure the other further blue bowl and adjust the original setting. The umpire should then measure the first red bowl and then measure the second red bowl. The umpire should check the measure's original setting by going back to the further blue bowl. The decision should then clearly be indicated to the players by rolling the shot or shot bowls out. 2 second bowls, one resting on the shot bowl. Upon examining the head, it is clear which is the shot bowl, but not clear which bowl is the next closest. Make sure all other bowls not in the measure have been removed by the players. Carefully examine the bowls and then carefully wedge the leaning bowl or bowls. When the umpire is confident the bowl is secure, carefully remove the obstructing bowl by lifting it carefully over the bowls from behind the bowls using both hands. If anything is appearing to move, stop and then re-secure or readjust the chocks. Removing the shot bowl from the front can be problematic. Once the umpire has removed the obstructing bowl, the umpire can then continue the measure with confidence. The umpire then clearly indicates the score to the players. Umpires cutting across greens. When umpiring, the officials should be alert and scanning all rinks from the bank at all times. When called to measure, they should quickly ascertain the type of measure and the approximate distance so that they are prepared with the appropriate equipment. The umpire needs to ascertain the rink on which the measure is to be conducted and only walk onto that rink. The measurer should not cut across other rinks and should be careful not to be in the line of sight of bowlers on other rinks on the mat ready to deliver or delivering their bowls. A good measurer will walk briskly without running and carefully approach the measure. The way that markers perform and manage their time during a game can certainly influence the way the game is played, particularly to the comfort and satisfaction of the players. Players want to play the game at their pace, quick, slow, depending on the circumstances of the match, not the marker's pace, and the marker needs to understand this. Good markers develop consistent routines that allow the game to proceed efficiently. Do not engage in conversation with players unless they want you to. Markers should only carry the minimum of equipment with them on the green. Normally, you will need to carry a chalk spray, a box string measure, 2 or 3 wedges, a pen or pencil, a coin, and, if required, shot indicators or paddles. Do not carry any items in your pocket that could easily fall out, or items such as wallets or purses and mobile phones. Before starting the game, the marker should introduce themselves to the players.
Hi, I'm Dane and I'll be your marker for today.
Hi Dane, I'm Danny.
Nice to meet you, Danny.
Sean, Dane, nice to meet you, mate.
Sean.
And tell them that you will mark all touches and that you would like their permission to remove dead bowls from the ditch or green as soon as they come to rest.
Just a few things. I'll mark all touches and I'll remove dead bowls when you've signalled they're dead.
The marker should also ask the players if they would prefer to have distances given using imperial, feet and inches, or metric, metres, measurements, or just hand indications.
How would you like me to indicate distances?
Hey, this is fine.
Feet and inches, thanks.
It is the marker's task to toss the coin to see who has control of the mat.
Okay, who's going to call?
I'll call heads.
Yep.
Game in progress. The ideal position to stand is approximately 2 metres to the rear of the head and 1 metre to the side of the jack. As a general rule, a good marker will keep the same position in relation to the jack on each end. The marker may have to spot the jack on the 2 metre mark. If so, the front of the jack should be in line with the back dot. If the jack position is moved during play so that it is at the very back of the rink or in the ditch, the marker's position may need to be altered accordingly. The marker should not stand on the bank unless requested to do so by the players. Indicating the position of the
High
head.
ball, jack high.
The marker should only answer questions about the state of the head from the player in possession of the rink. Markers should ensure that they comprehend the player's question and provide the appropriate answer. A good marker will answer clearly, precisely and positively, while being wary of providing too much information. Mark with chalk all touches as soon as they come to rest. Put the marks on both sides so that the ball does not have to be picked up to be checked if moved from its original position. A skilled marker has an accurate eye for picking the shot. Players will have confidence in and rely on the marker's ability during the game.
One red.
Yes.
When asked who has the shot, a good marker will not be afraid to give an opinion as to the state of the head. A crucial component of the marker's duties is answering questions posed by the players in possession of the rink. Anticipating questions is the key to good marking. If you are unsure which is shot bowl, don't be afraid to say that it is a measure. Don't be forced into making a decision when you are unsure. Driving or fast-moving bowls. The marker should move to the front of the head when a fast-running bowl is delivered. Keep your focus on seeing if the delivered bowl becomes a toucher and avoid any moving objects. Whenever possible, make neighbouring rinks aware of any imminent driving shot. Be aware of play on neighbouring rinks. You should stop a bowl or any other neutral object from a neighbouring rink that is likely to disturb the head on your rink. Never move a bowl except for a bowl declared dead. Dead bowls should be removed before the next bowl is delivered. Do not stop or catch bowls which are about to enter the ditch, even if it looks as though they may disturb another bowl or jack already in the ditch. A good marker will stand in a position that does not cast a shadow across the head or across the head on the neighbouring rink. Keep out of the head while the participants decide and agree upon the result. When the players have decided the result of the end, confirm with the players the number of shots scored and by whom, and tell the players the running totals of the scores. The marker should then walk quickly to the other end, displaying lollipops if required, and remove from the green the mat used in the previous end. At the other end, the marker should then enter the scores on the scorecard. Completion of the game. At the completion of the game, markers have significant responsibilities. The marker, at the completion of the game, should congratulate the players and shake hands. The marker then needs to check the scores are correct, then transfer this information to the front of the card. Players must sign the card, and the time of completion of the game must be recorded. The marker must deliver the card to the appropriate person or controlling body.